Welcome to another Marketing Strategy Management mini training module. Today's topic is Social Media and Business Objectives, Part 1. In an earlier video titled Cultivating Customers with Social Media, we saw that social media marketing tends to unfold in stages and also across time. As a result, different people can be at different stages at different points in time. In light of this being a somewhat fluid process, it becomes advisable to make sure the social media initiative is operating within the framework of a carefully thought out strategy, one that seeks to achieve specific business objectives. The development of these objectives will hinge on deciding what you want to accomplish with social media. Who will it be aimed at? What purpose will it serve? What expectations does upper management have for it? And what will success look like? There's a good chance the answers to these questions will fall into one of three categories. First, they may be marketing performance objectives. Second, they may be brand interaction objectives. This is, after all, a social platform. And third, they may be brand reputation objectives. In fact, with this one, we may want to include brand loyalty objectives as well. Let's take a closer look at each of these, beginning with the marketing performance objectives. These are probably the easiest to identify because they likely already exist within the business strategy, and social media merely represents another tool for trying to achieve them. For instance, you might use the sales objectives that were established for your business and then expect a percentage increase in sales that can be attributed to the social media initiative. Or perhaps you'll want a percentage of new leads coming in because of social media. You can also have marketing objectives, such as gains in market share or the acquisition of new market segments as a result of social media marketing. Other quantifiable revenue goals may also be considered. For example, they may include a reduction in costs for customer service due to the use of social media. In general, the idea is to give social media a specific role in supporting the marketing performance objectives. Now let's move on to the second category, the brand interaction objectives. These objectives are what set social media apart from many other marketing activities. In the Cultivating Customers module mentioned earlier, we emphasize the idea of building relationships and creating a sense of community with social media as opposed to selling products and services with it. With that in mind, the interaction objectives focus on developing an atmosphere that invites involvement. It could be in the form of people making comments, or clicking the likes, favorites, and retweet icons, or becoming followers. Or maybe it's about getting them to participate in contests, polls, surveys, and product reviews. Perhaps you'll want them to become a subscriber, or you'll offer them something they can download. The aspiration is to have them move from being passive to being active. A related objective is to have the involvement activity reinforcing in nature. This goes beyond mere participation to having that participation connected with it being a feel-good moment for the participant. By that, I mean it has an endearing quality. This, for example, is why it's so important to have a moderated social presence. Follow-up responses to visitor comments are part of the relationship building process. It helps them to feel like they've been heard. And lastly, there's sustainment. This is about the ability to sustain a positive momentum across time. The objective is to maintain the quality and quantity of involvement. Ideally, the sense of community will become increasingly more pronounced, instead of it leveling off or withering away. The last category for our business objectives is brand reputation. As most people know, the brand image is a key business asset. Under reputation, the objectives might be aimed at improving the brand image or nurturing greater customer loyalty. Another possibility could be a circumstance in which you find yourself in the position of having to protect the brand, or maybe you just want the social media to increase brand exposure. By the time you've gone through this exercise of developing business objectives for social media marketing, you'll have snapped into focus the expectations for it. Instead of a field of dreams, it'll become a field of carefully cultivated outcomes. In Part 2, we'll look at how these business objectives specifically relate to social media marketing and, just as importantly, how to measure their progress over time. For more information on this and related topics, visit marketingstrategymanagement.com. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.